Good morning. Welcome to your weekly cup of Joe. My name is Joe King. I'm the owner of Physical Therapy Advantage in North Aurora, and just bringing you our weekly video blog posts this week. In the past, I recently have done a post on beds and mattresses and stuff. And my comment was, I was told that there are two things that you don't shortchange yourself on or cut expenses on. It's your bed and your shoes, because you spend over half your life in both. So we talked about beds and mattresses and stuff. And so now today, I want to talk about the other half, the shoes. We always get asked what kind of shoes to wear, what should you get? Once again, this could be a very lengthy conversation, but for those that are outdoor enthusiasts that want to do some walking and running or walk runs or whatever for leisure, for more sport or for competition. So we're talking a little bit about shoes today. You can move this into general shoes as well. So it could be a really, really lengthy conversation, like I said. So typically there are 3 feet or foot type, I should say. And you either have a neutral foot, which is just a normal arched foot. You have a high arched foot, which is typically a rigid foot. And then you have a flat foot, like myself. And then with that flat foot, it's a pretty soft and wobbly. It's not very rigid like a high arched foot. So those are your typical 3 types of feet that you have out there. Your foot structure is flat arch, very low or flat arch. Then you have a neutral foot, or a neutral arch, which has just a normal kind of nice arch in there, a little curvature in there. If you stand up, there's a little curve, there's a little space between. And then you have a really high arch, where if you stood up, you're really all the weight's on the outside part of your foot, and you can see a lot of space on the inside part of your foot there. And knowing that will make a big difference in the type of shoes you get. So when you get those or when you go out looking for shoes, you want to try to find something that's going to fit your foot and support your foot appropriately, especially if you're going to be putting miles on those shoes. So in general, a high arched foot person is going to want something that has a lot of cushion, because it's a very rigid foot. You're going to want some cushion underneath that arch to support that for running miles upon miles upon miles and pounding and pounding and pounding. You want some cushion with it, typically. If you have a neutral foot, then you need a little bit of cushion and you need a little bit of support. And they call those a neutral shoe or a stability shoe. And then if you have a flat arched foot like myself, then you're going to look for something that doesn't allow your foot to flatten out too much. And you might be, when you flatten out, they might call you a pronator or an overpronator. So you're going to look for a shoe that has some sort of pronation control. Some people that have flat feet pronate just a little bit, like myself. Some people that have flat feet really, really pronate a lot, and they're going to need a little bit more pronation control in their shoes. So when you go to a shoe store and go to a good running shoe store, they'll be able to bring you out different types, different models, and different brands, and try all those different shoes on to see which ones fit the best. Because ultimately, fit is what means a lot. We could tell you that you need a motion controlled or a pronation controlled shoe from this brand, but that may not fit your foot structure. You may not like it so well. You may like a different brand, a little different model. So fit means everything to start with. I'm going to show you a couple shoes here. So this first one here is from my wife's new running shoe, and it's got a little bit of pronation control in it. Typically she doesn't, but now this year she did buy one. She liked it. It's got a little bit of pronation control. It's got a little stability inside here, which she normally wouldn't have. She normally would go for a cushioned shoe or a neutral shoe, but this has got a little bit of pronation control in it. So she likes this kind of shoe, or at least currently does. My new shoe that I have, I always get a little bit of a pronation control. I've tried different brands over the course. I've got a Saucony right now, and it's got a little bit of pronation control in there as well. And I typically do find that shoes that have a little bit of pronation control work better for me. I was given this shoe during COVID, being a healthcare professional. I received a free pair of shoes. This is not a shoe that I would normally wear to run in, because it's an all cushion shoe. It's got some air pockets in there. You can kind of see it there. I would not typically wear this to run in. It's very comfortable to walk in. I've walked for a couple miles on it before, and it seems to be okay. But I would not pound on it and run on it because it's more of a cushion shoe. It wouldn't support me and wouldn't protect me from flattening out too far. So those are kind of some shoes that are out there. I mean, like I said, we can't tell you what brand or what model or anything like that. Going to a good running shoe store to start with, to have them looked at. Then they put you on a scanning pad to kind of see where you put weight at. They may take a video of you or get you on a treadmill walk, or they may just have you walk in the shoes to see how they fit. Whatever works for you, or where you have locally, wherever you can get to locally. Here in the Fox Valley region, there's a couple good stores. One would be Dick Pond Athletics. There's one, the one I send most of my clients to is up in St. Charles, but there's also one in Lyle. And then the Naperville Running Company. There's one in downtown Naperville, and there's also one in downtown Wheaton, are two of the closest ones that we have. So those are two excellent running shoe stores, especially shoe stores to check out if you have any questions. So hope that gives you a little bit of information, especially with the warmer weather coming up and people getting outside to go walking and running in the start of 5 and 10K seasons and everything else. There actually are some in-person ones that are going to be taking place this spring. So that's fantastic. Just to let you know too, upcoming here in the month of April, our next workshop is actually going to be talking about plantar fasciitis. So Shay Phillips will be doing that on Tuesday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. The link for that workshop will be right below here. And I also put, hopefully it works out, that I'll have a graph of the different foot structures and types that I talked about today. Those will be down underneath there as well for your reference. So enjoy those. If you have any questions about any information today, don't hesitate to give us a call at 630-892-8003. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you next week for your weekly Cup of Joe. Bye.